Apparently, once we hit 40, there is an entire list of makeup products that we're no longer supposed to be able to use anymore, and a lot of makeup techniques that are also off limits to us because, I mean, we're just ancient, aren't we? We're just way too old to be able to get away with it. Absolute rubbish. I think a lot of the advice that is going to be listed in this video today is completely outdated. We are going to go through the top 10 pieces of makeup advice for over 40s. I'm going to go through why I think you should ignore them, why I disagree with them, and most importantly, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can wear these products and use these techniques in a way that is super, super flattering on a more mature skin. And by the way, there is one rule that features towards the end of this video that I've heard on repeat for so many years that makes absolutely no sense to me at all. So let's get on with it. First up, don't use shimmer on the skin over the age of 40. We're talking highlighters, blush, bronzers here, and the reason I think this is completely outdated is because the products of yesteryear used to be quite powdery, quite chunky glitter, and that glitter used to find its way and migrate its way into all your fine lines, wrinkles, and crinkles, and it was a roadmap to age. It just really did highlight everything on your face that you perhaps didn't want to highlight, including texture and pores. And I just think that the products of today are far superior. We're talking a luminosity and shimmer, not sparkle. And they're just really elegant, very classy, and can be extremely flattering on a more mature skin. There is a reason why a lot of people only use cream-based products in this day and age, and that is because the cream-based products leave a beautiful luminosity on the surface of the skin, which is very natural looking. It highlights what you want it to highlight. It gives you that glow from within without highlighting anything that you don't particularly want to highlight, like open pores, like texture. Now, if you are like my mum, and this is a prime reason for this video, my mum is 73. She is a lot older than me, and yet her skin quality is amazing. She has zero texture, zero open pores. She can get away with some products on her face that I personally can't get away with on mine at 46. So those shimmery products, those highlighters suit my mum far better than they do me, which is why I don't think there should be rules in this department. It doesn't matter about how old you are, it matters what you like and how you think it looks. Never use powders. Now this one seriously annoys me, and very similarly to the first no-no, powders have come on leaps and bounds. Not really even in the last 5 years. In the last year alone, we've gone from really heavy talc-based powders to very lightweight, blurring, diffusing powders that just give you a little bit of a candlelit glow, dim down a little bit of shine, and make your makeup last a little bit longer whilst feeling very lightweight and not looking like powder on the skin. Now, I do like to be very sparing with powder underneath my eyes because my skin under my eyes has changed over the last couple of years, and I find that applying too much powder under there can make my under eyes look dry and cakey as the day progresses. So what I do is I adapt my technique. I do get quite shiny throughout the day, so I do like to powder my T-zone. I apply a little bit on a powder puff, I do my T-zone, and then whatever is left on the powder puff, and it will be a minuscule amount of powder, I dust underneath my eyes, and that is it. Now, if you are completely against powder, you shouldn't use powder. Nobody is saying that you should use powder. There's some absolutely fantastic setting mists on the market that will allow you to make your makeup last a lot longer than it would do without any sort of setting product on there at all. If you have super, super dry skin, there are some powders that are also hydrating, including hyaluronic acid in there. But if you don't like the look of those either, then, you know, go for a setting spray. There are no rules. I'm sort of going against my own advice here. Don't use liquid eyeliner. Now, I've recently fallen in love with a liquid eyeliner. I haven't used liquid eyeliner in such a long time, and I still believe that eyeshadows are a phenomenal tool for creating a winged liner, especially on a hooded lid or any crepey lids, because it's very easy to blend out, soften, diffuse, and make look crisp without having the issues of using a pen liquid eyeliner and trying to create a straight, crisp line when you have crinkles and wrinkles around this portion of the eye. So I have found a liquid eyeliner that I am loving at the moment. I still use my eyeshadow liner technique, but I like to go right down at the base and create a little wing before the hood comes into view, before any wrinkles come into view, just to make the wing a little bit more dramatic than an eyeshadow will allow me to do. So I don't think it is going to be offensive to anybody on the planet if you pick up a winged eyeliner. Yes, it's bold. Be bold. Only wear neutral eyeshadow. Now, I am the epitome of this rule because I'm super boring, so I tend to only wear neutral eyeshadow anyway. However, I am trying to find a really deep navy palette with some gold flecks in there, so warm navy rather than a cool blue to bring out my brown eyes. And I love using purple eyeshadow on my mum to bring out her green eyes. I also love using greens on my eyes as well. So sophisticated plums, olives, navies, orangey tones, bronzes, golds, absolutely beautiful. Colour is not aging in the slightest. Like I said on the last one, you can add a hint of boldness with a liner, with an eyeshadow, whatever you want. Give yourself a little bit of individuality. It's not the colour that will age you, it's bad blending. So as long as you're blending all those edges and making everything diffused and blend into nothingness, you are going to look absolutely superb. So please don't allow anybody to tell you you cannot use colour. I mean, I love colour. We're staying on a similar trajectory. Don't wear glittery eyeshadow. Apparently, by the time we hit 40, we are only allowed to be using matte shadows and matte shadows alone. Ugh, it's just not the case. Don't get me wrong, matte shadows can look absolutely beautiful, very elegant, very classy. The Kardashians have cornered the market for matte shadows. They make them look beautiful, but you are not stopping me from getting a glittery eyeshadow on my lids. There are different levels of sparkle. I save the chunky glitters for parties and special occasions, but I do love a shimmer, a metallic sheen on the lid, and I think a lot of people are very frightened of shimmer, especially if you have quite crepey lids to begin with. If that shadow is quite powdery in consistency, that glitter can find its way into those crinkles and wrinkles, and it can look very, very textured and very wrinkly very quickly. If you choose the right shadow, however, that product will stick, it will not move, and in some instances can actually smooth out the lid rather than making it look more textured. The product that I've used on my lids today is by NYX, and it's the Lid Lingerie Metallic Eye Pigment. This lasts for such a long time. You need very, very little. It's smoothing, it feels like nothing on the eyelids. It doesn't feel heavy or cakey at all. but seriously, it is not going to budge. So just keep your eye closed for around about 10 seconds after application. It welds to the lid, looks very smooth, very blended, just a beautiful, beautiful sheen on the surface of the lid. And there are others on the market that will do a very similar job, but those liquid eyeshadow pigments are absolutely fantastic if you have any crepiness on your lids whatsoever, but you're just wanting a little bit of a shimmer. Never skip primer or moisturizer. Again, everybody's skin is going to be different. Not everybody needs the same prep steps. Not everybody needs a heavy moisturizer. In fact, not only do they not need a heavy moisturizer, some makeup doesn't sit very well over heavy skincare products. So you do what your skin needs. Don't copy anybody else's priming prep routines. I very rarely apply a primer to my skin. It's one of those steps that I just think, ugh, I just can't be bothered. My mum definitely doesn't need a primer. The only time we do apply primers is when we want our makeup to last a really, really long time and we need the makeup to grip to something. I also don't always apply a moisturizer first thing in the morning. Some people have an SPF that is moisturizing enough, and I have one of those skins that does go quite shiny throughout the day. I have an oily T-zone, so anything overly heavy is just not going to be for me. If after applying my SPF I feel like I need to liven my skin up a little bit, I tend to apply a facial mist over my skin before I apply my concealer and my foundation, just to allow that concealer and foundation to melt into my skin a little bit better rather than sitting on the surface. Never apply mascara to your lower lashes. Now, I understand the premise of this, and I very rarely apply mascara to my lower lashes because I don't want a very heavy look. Generally, I like no makeup look, so I try and keep my lower lashes as natural as physically possible. But if you want to apply mascara to your lower lashes, then go ahead and do it. If you've applied quite a lot of mascara to your upper lashes, not applying mascara to the lower lashes can make you look a little off balanced. If you apply too much on the lower lashes, some people may look overly heavy, or that mascara with those lashes can cast a shadow on the skin beneath the lashes, making you look like you have quite dark circles. So there is a fine line, but again, you need to do what makes you happy. If you have quite downturned eyes, you may want to focus the attention of your mascara in the center lower lashes only, rather than putting a coat on every single individual lash. That will disguise that downturnedness, really lifting up the corners of the eyes rather than dragging them down even further. Now we're getting to the final 3 pieces of advice that really get stuck in my throat. These I find super, super annoying. The first one of these is that people over 40 should only wear brown mascara. They should not be allowed to wear black mascara because black mascara doesn't look right on an over 40 eye. It's too stark, it's too harsh. We need something softer and more demure. No, we do not. I mean, you may love a brown mascara, and I think brown mascara is incredibly flattering. I often wear brown mascara myself, especially for my lower lashes, because I don't like my lower lashes to stand out as much as my upper lashes. That is a personal preference. But there are so many other colours of mascaras out there. Burgundies, deep greens, deep blues. Black is always going to be my favourite. I love a black chunky, voluminous mascara. There is nothing better in my opinion, and depending on your skin tone, depending on how many lashes you have, the quality of your lashes, your eye colour, depends on what sort of mascara and what colour of mascara you want to go for. But personally, for me, black is always the best. I like a va-va-va-voom lash. I like my lashes to stand out, and I've even got false lashes on today to add an even bigger punch of blackness. So for those of you that don't think I should be wearing black mascara, I know it won't be any of you, but for those who judge out there, never put blush on the apples of the cheeks. I'm going to breathe a little bit here. Not everybody's face is the same shape. Not everybody has hollows underneath the cheekbones, hollows in the temples. Not everybody is going to have texture on their skin. Not everybody is going to want a really lifted, sculpted look. Some people, especially if you have quite a narrow face, want to add a little bit of fullness around the cheek area. Now, I am not saying that everybody should be applying blush all the way down here, because applying blush on the lower apples of the cheeks can drag the face down and make it look rather droopy. We don't want that. I mean, you may want that. If you want that, you do you. But I want something that is going to make my cheeks look full, fresh, younger, bouncier, juicier. I don't just want to be applying blush on the outer portion of my face, right on the top of my cheekbones, because I don't think that is flattering for everybody. It is not universal. I think you should be able to apply your blush in whichever way you want. If you have quite a long face, you may want to apply your blush horizontally across your face. That will give the appearance of a shorter face. If you want to lift the cheekbones, applying it on the outer edges will give you a lifted, more sculpted look. If you want a rounder face, placing it on the tops of the apples, avoiding the lower apple of the cheek and slightly bringing it underneath those eyes will give you that rounder, juicier appearance. So it isn't one size fits all. We don't all have the same shaped face. We don't all have the same wants and needs. So just apply the blush however you want to. I mean, if you apply the blush in the same quantity that I do, everybody will see your blush from the other side of the street. I have astronauts commenting on my blush. And finally, so many people have told me that they have been told by the makeup counters not only should they not be wearing foundation over 40, that they should only be wearing either a tinted moisturizer or nothing at all, because foundations would not look right on them. This makes no sense to me, and I'm going to tell you why. So some people need more coverage than others, or want more coverage than others. Nobody needs anything, but some people want more coverage than other people. A tinted moisturizers tend to be quite hydrating and nourishing, and some people can't cope with that level of moisturization throughout the day. A tinted moisturizer may just fall off your skin. A skin tint may not be enough for you, but also if you're applying something that has very little coverage, which could look extremely flattering on somebody over the age of 40, if you're after a little bit more coverage, you're going to use more of that product. And as you use more of that product, it is going to look more unnatural, because a very light coverage product is not supposed to be a medium coverage product. It's not going to sit well on the skin as a medium coverage product. So you are far better getting a foundation, whether that be matte, natural, radiant, whichever one you want to go for, and using less of it to get the coverage that you require. I always think that less is more in the base department. So I would prefer to go for a full coverage foundation and use the tiniest amount than go for a tinted moisturizer and use a lot more of it and allow it to just sit on my skin rather than melting into my skin. I love a foundation. My mum loves a foundation. She doesn't wear it if she's not going out of the house, but honestly, when my mum has foundation on her skin looks flawless. It doesn't look like makeup, it looks like her skin. So foundations have got better and better and better, and just because you've hit 40 does not mean you have to stop wearing them. Honestly, blows my mind. So they are the 10 pieces of makeup advice for people over 40 that I think you should ignore. Dodge them with a barge pole if you must. Put your boxing gloves on. Ignore everybody that spouts this stuff at you. Do not be persuaded to dim your shine for anybody else. You do you. Do what you feel is best for your skin. Do what makes you happy. I mean, there's power in that. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give this video a share before you leave. Hope to see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.